So the Tosfos, mטבילין so al das based in. So v'tema, the hazechia having mitam shlichus. So since the chiyah is coming from mitam shlichus, the kaven, or how do we know the kaven? The zechus hu lo. It's a zechus. That's what the Gemara says. Anen sahadi da avid le shliach. So since it's a zechus, then therefore you're making a shliach. So if you find $5 on the street and you want to be mezake it for me, so then you'll pick it up for me. So your kinyan is for me. So since it's a zechus for me, then it's an anan sahari that I made you a shaliach to pick up the $5 for me. So you pick up the $5 mezake for me is coming through tam shlichus. So this is what Tosfos is saying, that zechiyah is tam shlichus. So therefore, anan sahari you make a shaliach. Kademuchach prepare kama in bava metzia gabe chotzer misham yad. So how does a chotzer able to be zoich for something if the get is in a chotzer? Or an object, if an aveda goes into chotzer, how does it get? Mishum yad itrube. So just like your hand is able to be mizaka and able to be koine, so to your chotzer is able to be chotzer v'lo gera mishluchos, and that your chotzer is no worse than a shaliach, and the shaliach is coming through yad. So we have this shlichus is coming from the zechiyah, that you're able to be zoicher something through shlichus. How can we be zoicher for a katan? Since there's no shlichus for a katan, therefore there's no zechiyah for a katan. It's basically the opening of Tosfos Serkat Amrim Be'ezehu Neshech. So the Nesher says that there's no shlichus for a katan. So since there's no shlichus for a katan, so therefore you can't be zoiche for the katan. I mean, it's a fairly simple idea. So here in the Rebbe Kiva Ger katan mטבילין אותו. V'zachan la'adam shelo b'fanav. The matter kaimel ein shlichus lekatan lo mishom the kalish lekhoichet the katan. So Rebbe Kiva doesn't like what's going on in Tosfos. I say that since why is there no shlichus to the katan? It's not because the katan has no koyach; he's got a weak strength. The maisa the cotton is nothing. So therefore, when he makes the shliach, he didn't do anything. And when the act of making a shliach doesn't have any mamash in it, because the cotton can't do a maisa, so he can appoint a shliach, therefore he doesn't do anything. But all that is where you need the das of the cotton. Like in the case of truma, so it says by truma there the cotton can't make a shliach. So if a cotton has a truma and then you makes a shliach to take truma for him, he's tevel, he makes a shliach to take truma, it doesn't work. The mieze tam shehu o misham de dilma roitze lefoter bimat or b'maruba. So since the cotton maybe he wants more or less than the shliach does for him, so therefore he needs the das of the cotton has to be there. Or misham tamacher akopanim hadin miyusad tzarich lasota shliach. I mean a cotton ain't lo maisa. So when you have to actually, so the cotton has to actually make a shliach, therefore you have the das of the cotton. So since the cotton can't do the maisa, therefore you can't make a shliach. Aval heicha de ein tzarich daitoi. But when the das of the cotton is not needed, she has a shliach, where to make a shliach. Gam le cotton yesh shlichus. The cotton has shlichus where there is no, we don't need any das. So Tosfos is saying that there's no shlichus. Rabbi Kiva says that since you don't need the das of the cotton is not like appointing the basin as a shliach. You don't need the das of the cotton. So the Kiddus Yaakov brings up to explain the machlokas here between Rabbi Kiva and the Tosfos. So Tosfos also agrees that there's a chiluk in how shlichus works gabi cotton. The ein shlichus lekotten who mipnei chisron das, because the reason that there's no shlichus lekotten because the cotton has a chesron the das, and zechiyah she'ein tzarich daitoi. And since in Zechiyah that you don't need his das, Shapir Nasa Hazoicha Shlucho. So by Zechiyah, what do you need the das of the cotton for? So since you don't need the das, so therefore the chesron of the das of the cotton isn't important. So therefore that the Tiktaka agrees that the cotton can make a shaliach for the Zechiyah. And that's the shittas of Rabbi Kiva that the cotton, since it's a din of zechia, and you don't need das for the cotton. I'm going to take the $5 for the cotton. What do I need his das for? You know, he's not appointing me as the shlichus. And the whole kind of din of zechia is that I become your shliach without you appointing me. That's really how Zachila Adam Shlo Befanav works, is that I become your shliach without you appointing me your shliach. So there's no minoi shliach, there's no appointment of the shliach. So therefore I don't need the das of the cotton when I'm zoicha for you. So therefore, ein ma'asav shel zoicha moilim likno. So Tosfos. The Stipler is saying that Tosfos agrees to Rabbi Kiva that you don't need the das shaper nasa zoicha shlucha shel cotton. Achaful pikein ein ma'asav shel zoicha ma'alim liknot. But even though that you can have the shliach of the cotton, it still doesn't work. Me'acher shehakoton atzmo eni yachol la'asos hagerus. Since the cotton himself can't do the gerus, gam shluchos lo adif mimenu. Also, so therefore his shliach can't do it for him. So this is what we discussed last time, but the two ways to learn the shlichus, which he's going to speak about. Hu al pi shitas hator. So we said that the first way of learning shlichus, which is yad arichta. So again, yad arichta is not that the hand of the shliach becomes the hand of the mishaleach. But it's like the shaliach takes the hand of the mishaleach and goes to wherever it needs to go, and then uses the hand of the mishaleach. That's the yad arichta of the mishaleach. It's nothing to do with the guf of the shaliach. So that's what the Torah says. The shaliach the asa shaliach le gerish v'achar kach nitashes becomes a shaita. So we spoke at this case. At the shaliach, the man on Monday sends a shaliach, then Tuesday becomes a shaita, and then on Wednesday it's delivered. Ha-mishalech de'ein ma'isa shaliach klum. So therefore the shaliach doesn't do anything. Ha-get posel. So get posel would mean that it is a yad arechta, because since he's become a shaita, therefore the get is posel, because the shaita can't give a get, and therefore when the shaliach is giving the get, it's like the mishalech is giving the get, and then the mishalech is the shaita. Because the shaliach isn't the baal, shaliach isn't acting as himself to go, as he's acting through his own koyach. So again the Torah. This is going like Tosfos. It's going like the first shita. Hu shehashaliach hu keyad mishaleach. So the shaliach is like the yad mishaleach. It's not the yad of the shaliach is the yad of the mishleach. It's like the shaliach has the hand of the mishleach. U'maisa hashaliach k'maisa mishleach v'hamishleach hu hamegaresh. It's the mishleach who's doing it. It's the yad arechta. The kusha hu hamishleach shaita ve'ein lo koach la'asot haget gam kushanasa al yedei shluchu lav klumhu. So therefore the shaliach is doing this nothing. So therefore that's Tosfos is saying that even though the cotton can make a shaliach through zechia, that the shaliach can't do anything, and therefore the beis din can't megayer the cotton, because the cotton himself can't megayer himself because he has no das. Ayin kutzois v'harachti b'zeh harba begeres afilim t'mislam b'dezoichin as a shluchu shel cotton gati ein ma'asav mo'ilim dehan denahid ma'asav k'ma'asav cotton hu ha-cotton atzmo ein ma'asav klum. So this is what we spoke about last time, that Tosfos is going like the first shita, that it's the yad arichta, therefore there's no zechir for the cotton, and Rabbi Kiva Eiger is going like the second way, that even though you have a zechia, so there is no zechia, since there's no since zechia, therefore he's not making a shaliach, therefore Rabbi Kiva Eiger is just saying that shaliach, there's no chesron in the shalichus, because there's no minoi of the shaliach, and zechia, you don't need the das of the cotton, therefore it works. So therefore Rabbi Kiva Eiger here is arguing on the Tosfos. So we have here in the brackets, I think it's his brother, Achi. So his brother says that Rabbi Kiva Eiger he's not arguing on Tosfos, because he can't, but he brings the Rambam, that the Rambam holds like the second shita, which is that the to'eles of the Maisa goes back to the Mishaleach. But the shaliach is doing the maisa, and that's the shittas of the Rambam, and therefore the Rabbi Kiva Eiger is going like the Rambam. So it's the Rambam arguing on the Tosfos. It's not Rabbi Kiva Eiger arguing on the Tosfos. So Toisvis v'od kati oivit kachavim hu. And still, so when the minoi of the shliach, the katan is still a goy. So this is another problem. The katan da'ati leklal shlichus islei zechiyah midirabonin. So that since a katan, when the katan grows up, the katan will become a gadol. Therefore, he's oimed to become someone with das and someone who can make a shliach, and therefore the rabbanon were attacking him shlichus. But a goy did lo ati lechalal shlichus. But since a goy will never automatically or naturally become into the sugya of making shlichus, afilu zechiyim midrabanan lislei. So even by a goy gadol doesn't have shlichus. So kol shekain a goy katan doesn't have shlichus, and even though a Jew katan has shlichus to rabbanan, a goy katan does not have shlichus to rabbanan. So what do we do? So here we have the nami is going on like the katan of that's a Jew. So we say so too here we have that the goy katan also has a zechiyah de rabbanan. The zaken lo midirabanan. Kedamrina hasam the katan islay zechiyah. As we said over there that the katan has zechiyah midirabanan. Yafal gav da kati over kakavan who. So over there it's by a Jew. The Jew katan has zechiyah de rabbanan, and even though this guy is a goy right now, haati lechalal shlichus. He will eventually become into the idea of shlichus. So just like a katan will become a gadol and therefore will become shlichus, so this katan who is now becoming a ger, he will become a katan Jew and it will become a gadol Jew, and therefore he'll come into the idea of shlichus. So therefore he gets a zechiyah de rabbanan. So Tosfos answers here that this katan that is being megayered is a Jew de rabbanan. Now, if we have a look at the Ritva, so the Ritva Yesha Pirshu She'en Gerus Elu Midreihem, so that some people say that this Gerus is only Durabonim. Ve'en Soimchan Alav Ledoino Ki Yisrael. We're not Soimach on him to Damla Ki Yisrael. Ela Leinin Yayin Nesech. Yayin Nesech. What does this mean? Ela Leinin Yayin Nesech. For the din of Yayin Nesech, he's taka a Jew. So what does this mean? It's that since the whole din of a goy postling the yayin is a din de rabbanan, that you have yayin stam is what it's referring to here, so that the gezer is de rabbanan and yayin nesech. Therefore, this Jew de rabbanan, if he touches the yayin nesech, it doesn't become possible because it's only nisa de rabbanan, and therefore by making him a Jew de rabbanan, it's mafkiya that iser. For the whole davar shehu midrei soifrim. A ger cotton.
Because they're going to convert, so we'll treat them as a Jew to Rabbanan as of now.
No, we're converting them. How did that conversion work? Tosfos says that they get a zechiyah de rabbanan, and therefore we're able to make a shaliach of the beis din in order to. So anything that's divrei soifrim. So therefore we had in the Rashi. We had Rashi say, umageu yayin kosher, and if he touches your yayin, it's kosher. So there, here Rashi is agreeing with Tosfos that it's a din de rabbanan. Here, avaleini shechita. So shechita is you need a Jew. V'shar devarim shel Torah ain't tzomchim aleihim. So we're not tzomach. So even though he got a gerus, we don't care. We don't soimach on him. It's only for din to rabbanan we're soimach on him, and otherwise we're not. Yeah. So ve'im kadosh bas Yisrael ba'achar v'kadsh sarach mimenu get. So if he's in the kadosh bas Yisrael, that never happened. It's not a good kedushin. Uba'achar v'kadsh tzricha mimenu get. You need the get from the acher. V'teilah lahakayim im heglu yichulin limchos. So what's the pashtus that it's a gerus to rabbanan, or it's a gerus deraisa. So since it says in the Gemara that you're able to make a machol. So Amar Rav Yosef Hagdila, when they get bigger, you're able to make a machol. So therefore, this fits now with Rashi and Tosfos that the Chazal were metakein gerus on this cotton, and therefore when they get bigger, part of that takana of the gerus is that they're able to get out of the gerus when they get older. So now we'll just go into the so Inami with the second Tosfos Inami going on the gerus the goy kaven de bahach zechia nasa Yisrael. So since with this zechia that we give the zechia, make the shaliach of the Beis Din, he's able to get a gerus and become a Jew. Havelek Yisrael Gomer leinin zechia, and therefore by zechia he's like a Yisrael Gomer. It's the second teretz is how it can work for a goy. A Jew cotton has zechia, a goy cotton doesn't. But since through this giving him this zechia, he becomes a Jew. It's like zechia v'yad boin ka'achad. So now this is the Tosfos in Ben Tzor Mor in Sanhedrin Samaches Amud Beis. Now this, if you have a look at that Vav, it's from a completely different daf. This Tosfos, it's put in here in the printers, and basically it says that if you steal from a cotton, and then the cotton dies before you give him back the money. A cotton that's a ger, and then you give before you give him back the money, you take a shavua b'sheker, and then the cotton dies before you give him back the money. Then you just give the money to the kohanim. You don't need to look after the ger cotton to see that he has any yorshim. So Tosfos just starts off by asking, well, how did this cotton get any money? How does he have money since he has no zechia? And goes into a whole thing. Anyway, so towards the end here, mihu kasha miyahi deper kama de Ketuvot. So that's us, obviously. So we have a kasha from there in Kestuvos. Damrinen ger cotton mטבילין אותו al derech Beis Din, so that we toivel the cotton through the Beis Din. The whole mili hashav ger, and for every matter he's considered a ger. The hatiro b'bas Yisrael, the kedushav, kedushin. So Tosfos here is saying that since the Gemara continues on, and the Gemara is saying that basically gets the kesuva, and then why are we paying them? So here, since you're giving him the kesuva, so therefore we see that he's able to get married. That's the questions there. Ubanav choltzin umifayim lechol mili deraisa. So this ger works for everything deraisa. V'lo mashma sheyeh mitam diyesh koich biyad chachamim loiker davar min haTorah. And it's not mashma that this whole thing is because of that the chachamim are able to oiker davar min haTorah. That the chachamim are able to allow this ger cotton, the rabbanin, to do all these deraisa things from the koich of your oiker davar Torah. Chada dahani mili b'sheva al tasa, because where are you able to be oiker the Torah's sheva al tasa? V'hai kumva'asehu, and this is a kumva'ase that you are getting married and doing chalitza, these things. V'od mideperach ma'ike mashmalan tanina zachin la'adam shlo b'fanav. So that there's clearly a zechus. We're saying our whole chiddush in our Gemara is that this is a zechus for the Jew. So if we're uprooting the Torah, how can we call that as a chus for the Jew? If the chachamim are giving this person his gerus and then just ripping up the Torah in front of him, how is that called a zechus? So therefore, since it's a zechus, it must be working on a deraisa level. So again, this is the Tosfos in Sanhedrin. But near is the zechia, the gerus lo dami l'shar zechia. So it seems that the zechia of gerus is not similar to other zechias. The ma'aseh Beis Din mטבילין oisoi. Because what that the Beis Din are toiveling him, it's not that there's zoicha something for him. So this would be like me picking up $5 for you, that I am zoicha object X for you. Eila hu zacha ba'atzmo, but the goy himself is zacha in himself. It's not something outside of himself. It is himself. Ubegufo. So he's zacha ba'atzmo ubegufo. So it's like he's making a kinyan on his guf in his own guf. Shenasa ger v'nechmas tachas kanfei shechina. So therefore, since that the goy, so what you're doing mila on the ger, and you're toiveling the ger's guf. So therefore, it's not that I'm zeicha something outside of him for him, but he's zeicha in himself. He doesn't have to do a zechiyah that's outside of him, and therefore this zechus is different to every other zechus. V'had parach b'kesuvos taninin zachen la'adam shlo b'fanav. So therefore, so Toys now saying it's not zechiyah, but yet the Gemara says it is zechiyah. Umashani mahu detema oivachachavim behefkera ni nichalei. So we're saying that this is a zechus for him. I would think that it would be he preferred to be hefker, but no, it's a zechus for him. So what's this got to do with anything? Since it's not really zechiyah that the gerus is taking place. It's not really zechiyah. It's because if it was a chayv, the basin shouldn't get involved and be toreach to bring his gufu b'davar sheyesh lo chayva. So what is the so what he's saying that the Gemara is just explaining that it's a zechus. Now it's a zechus. The basin can get involved and magayer this cotton, because if it was a chayv for him, the basin shouldn't be getting involved and doing things to his guf that the cotton can be zeicha in himself. Ve'afilu betinok delav bar das chashiv ger mi demaisi mi katana pachus mi bas shalosh. So that's the Mishnah. We bring some bos shloshanim v'yomecha pachus mi shloshanim. So they bring this Mishnah as a Messiah for our case of the cotton. So therefore, it's also the ger cotton. This is all again to Raisa in this Tosis in Sanhedrin. So zechiyah ba'atzmahu could have perishus. So since because he has the zechiyah in himself, as I've explained, shahamila v'hatvila begufo. So since these things that are happening, it's in his guf. V'gam etzinu she'avosenu nechnos beris. So we also see that our fathers at the time of Nesinus Torah entered into the bris. So these are the things that we need. We need mila. We need the bris is the Kabbalah of the Kabbalah of mitzvahs, so the Kabbalah of the Torah. You got mila is the mila and tevila. So these are three things you need: Kabbalah's mitzvahs, mila, tevila, then hartzos daman. Hartzos daman is that every ger needs to bring a korban to the Beis Hamikdash, but the korban is not meyakev, and they were throwing blood on the mizbeach at the time of Matan Torah. So therefore, we saw that we had these things, but really they were gerim who became Jews there. The kama katanim hayi b'shas Matan Torah, and there were many katanim there. How did these katan oiv chachalim or katan gerim become Jews at this time? So therefore, it must be through this idea of a zechiyah b'gufam, since they had these things. So Rabbi Shimon is saying that if you have the gerus less than 3, it's called the kosher nizru besulei b'Yisrael. That since the besulim really start to grow once you're 3, so therefore it grew in a Jew. Umaisi raya meidechtev b'shalal Midian. So and he brings a proof from the Shalal Midian v'kol hataf benashim. So anyone in the women, so you can take them and get married to them. V'harei Pinchas haya imahem, and Pinchas was one of the people there who took the shivchos from Midian less than 3. The besulim were less than 3, and they're able to marry them. V'afal gav damrin b'kesuvos. Hikadulo yicholim limchos. This is what we said before. So now, in the case of the Raisa, we saw that in the Rabbanan, you're able to make a mechol because the whole thing's a Rabbanan, so the Rabbanan allowed you to make a mechol. So how does this work in the case of the Raisa that you're able to make a mechol? So we say that once they became old for one moment, v'lo michu shoven yicholim limchos. So demoile lohu mila v'tevila shel katnus shayte begufam vein chasarim ela kabbalas mitzvahs. So we have again these 3 things, or the 4 things, including the korban, which we don't do today. So the kabbalas mitzvahs he doesn't do, but he does the mila and he does the tefillah. He's just messing the kabbalas mitzvahs, and once he becomes bardas v'lo micha haynu kabbalah, then he has to do the kabbalas mitzvahs. Now this will be like a woman having a gerus, because a woman needs 3 things or 4 things. She needs a korban, she needs tevila, she needs mila, and she needs kabbalas mitzvahs. She doesn't do the korban. The korban is not meyakev, so we can just forget about that. But she needs mila. Well, how can a woman become a Jew without the mila? She has the kabbalas mitzvahs and she has the tevila. So you say that since the Mila is not Shaykh for her, the Mila that you need is only for people that the Mila is Shaykh for. But since this woman is not Shaykh to have the Mila, so therefore she doesn't have the Mila is not part of her Gerus. But if it was to be that one day a woman is Shaykh for Mila, she has to have Mila then when it's Shaykh for her. So to this cotton. It's Shaykh for him to do Mila, it's Shaykh for him to do Tefillah. But the Kabbalah's mitzvah he can't do. The Kabbalah's mitzvahs that he can't do, then he can do once he becomes a Bardas. And therefore, once he becomes a Bardas, now he has to be Kabbalah mitzvahs. Then once he doesn't make him a Chol, when he's Kabbalah's mitzvahs, then that's his Kabbalah and he becomes a Ger Deraisa. So you see here that this Tosis is arguing, at least on the first teretz of our Tosis. Here he's saying that it's Deraisa. We don't have this whole problem of Zechia. We're not even dealing with Zechia here, says this Tosis here in Sanhedrin. Whereas our Tosis. Now, what happens, what's the din of this cotton where he gets a Zechia Deraisa and then when he's 13, he has a Kabbalah's mitzvahs. So is he, let's say they dunk him when he's 5. Between 5 and 13, what's the state of this Jew? Is he a Jew Deraisa? Is he a Jew Derabanan? And then if he makes him a Chol, if he says, you know what, I don't want this Jew stuff, so then was he a Jew till he was 13 and now he's not a Jew Mikanu Laba? Or does it bottle it Lemafreya? How does that work? So we have the Orach Laner here in Sanhedrin, Hainu Kabbalah, but if he's lo nasa ger vadai ad sheyigdol. So the Orach Laner is saying he's not ger vadai. Now again, what's a ger vadai? Not a ger, he's a goy. He's not ger vadai ad sheyigdol. But lo micha, and then he doesn't make him a chol. Since he doesn't make him a chol, now he's a ger vadai. Mash Amar Rabbi Shimon the Geras Pachas Mibashnu Kasher Lekahuna Hayim Lechi Gadla. All this stuff when you're talking about a ger, it's when they get bigger. They get 200. That's what it says in our sugya later on in the Gemara. It says that they get 200 once they become big and they don't make them a chol. So really now, according to the way the Orach Laner is learning this Tosfos in Sanhedrin, obviously according to our Tosfos it's a Rabbanan, so therefore it's not a real gerus. But even in Sanhedrin, where you get a gerus deraisa, it's not a real gerus until he's Kabbalah's mitzvahs afterwards. So therefore, any cotton that's a ger that becomes a cotton that becomes a ger is not a ger deraisa, and for matters of deraisa, according here to the Orach Laner, in that Tosfos. So here's the Chasam Sofer. So different Tosfos b'Sanhedrin Sarachian. Ma harviach b'ma shechitru d'maisa gufu yesh lo zechia miyat Torah. So what does he gain by saying that he gets the zechia of the guf? V'havei mila v'tevila miyat Torah harei al kulpanim tzrichi liyashev im kain ma yachol imcho. So why is he able to make a machol? V'hisrachu loimer the al kulpanim kabbalah segerus b'leiv efshar ad sheyigdal. So he's not able to do kabbalah segerus b'leiv until he gets bigger. So it doesn't happen till then. Sure. V'imkein the devarei Tosfos al korcha miyom hatavila ad sheyigdu kablu habeistin be'avuro. So therefore, the whole Kabbalah is made by the beistin for the cotton. Ubeshlichoisei midrabanan, and therefore his shlichus is drabanan. And again, this is going on in Tosfos in Sanhedrin. So before he has the Kabbalah is from the beistin. The beistin is the shlich drabanan. V'harehu ger midrabanan ad sheyigdol. The nasa ger deraisa. So here the Chasam Sofer is saying clear that he's a ger midrabanan until he becomes a ger deraisa. So here he has a big chiddush here, says the Chasam Sofer. Yesh koyach b'yad chachamim la'oiker davar miyat Torah. So the chachamim are oiker in everything deraisa. Afilu become va'aseh. Because sheba'al eisha v'lo pasla min kahuna. So here he's saying that this ger, he's really only a ger d'Rabbanan and deraisa. He's a goy. He has bia with a woman. The woman now becomes a zayna. But the chachamim are oiker this zayna from this woman to make her kosher to the kahuna. Even though deraisa she's not. Because he's not a ger deraisa, he's only ger d'Rabbanan. So therefore he's a goy al ishish becomes a zayna. She asks for a kohen. No, the chachamim are making her kosher for a kohen. The im shachat, it's a psul. That shchita is possible because he's a goy. Deraisa. Again, for a cotton, you need someone watching and making sure he did it correctly. You can eat it, but it's deraisa, it's not kosher. But the rabban and their oiker to make it a kosher. So this is so since when he's older, he's a germin deraisa lo chashuv lamashi. We're not worried about it. Belinochachi nishmor mimenu shaharei yirim shema yim cholishgato yeshachitzu nevela lemafreya. So he calls this nevela lemafreya. If he makes a machol, then it's a nevela lemafreya. Because what he's saying, when he's makabel and he says, I want this, then he changes from a derabanan to a deraisa. But if he says no, then lemafreya it becomes a nevela. We're just not chayshish for that because mistama he's going to makabel the Torah. So according to here, it's the Chacham Sefer. It's a complete mess. What's going on with this ger derabanan, or even a ger deraisa? Deraisa, it becomes a ger derabanan because it doesn't have the Kabbalah's mitzvahs. Here, according in the Chacham Sefer. So here we have Rav Natali Trop, again, who's the Rosh Hashiva in Rodin of the Chavetz Chaim. So he's going to explain the differences between what's the maklokas between the two toises. Ubezei yivor lenachu and svarsa toises the mahani zechiyah midaraisa. The heiche the lo mahani shlichus af zechiyah lo mahani, because where shlichus isn't going to work, so zechiyah isn't going to work. And Tosa says in Kestuvos, and that is heicha the beinin ali de zechiyah of our hakotan. This is where we're trying to be zoicha something for the cotton, that the cotton will be megayer atzmo the beinin sheyimu v'yitvu v'yichnos atzmo lechalal yisrael. So he needs to do all this, and we did shlichus shayach ali de maisa hashaliach. So where the shlichas, where the maisa shaliach you need, therefore the shlichus doesn't work. Lechashevski ilo mishalech poil hagerus. So sometimes you have the shaliach is doing the ma'aseh, where you have that, so therefore you have a problem. So where you have the shalichus works, so therefore the zechiyah works. The gam al yedei zechiyah mahani sheyeh keilo zoicha asa ha'ma'aseh. Mashen ken bekotten the lo mahani shlichus lechachshev ma'aseh shlich ha'ma'aseh kotten. So where you have again where you have the shaliach is doing the ma'aseh, therefore you need the zechiyah to work, and therefore the cotton doesn't have it. Amnam, that's a taisus by Sanhedrin. That's all our taisus. Saying that the Sanhedrin is doing the ma'aseh gerus. Since the Sanhedrin is doing the ma'aseh gerus, therefore it's not going to work for they're the shaliach for the cotton, and therefore it doesn't work. However, the taisus in Sanhedrin, the lo be'inyan sheyeh cotton megayer atzmo ve'ena cotton poil klal chalos gerus. The cotton's not doing it; doesn't need the chalos of the gerus. Ela had based in poelim cholos gerus of roy. But the Beis Din is doing it for him. The Beis Din hema hamagayrin. The Beis Din are magayrin him. Now, to give an example, you go to Beis Din to give a get. Again, every get you give in Beis Din. What's the Beis Din doing there? Is the Beis Din giving the get, or the Beis Din is just watching you give the get? So the Baal has to be megarish the Isha. Since the Baal has to be megarish the Isha, so therefore the Beis Din are just there watching it. So therefore, it's the Baal needs to do it. And if the Baal makes the Beis Din a shaliach to give the get, so therefore that's not going to work for a cotton. Because it's the Baal himself that has to do the maises. So our Tosis in Kestuvos is saying that the cotton is doing the ma'aseh gerus. But here, if you're saying that the Beis Din is doing the ma'aseh gerus, so who's doing it? You go to Beis Din, and Beis Din megayers you. Therefore, you don't need your das, you don't need your maisa. So in Sanhedrin, they're holding that it's not that the Beis Din is doing your act, that you go, when you magayer, you do the gerus yourself, and therefore through the shaliach, the Beis Din is doing it. No, the Beis Din are doing the gerus, since that they're doing the gerus. Therefore, since they did it to you, therefore. So again, for the case of let's say like whatever mila, the act is done. He doesn't need a shliach to do it for him. It's been done, and he has it in his guf. He doesn't need a shliach. So this is how Rav Tolin is explaining the machlokas between the two toisesim. Now, okay, so back in the toises here, ve'im tema, heichi have ger midurabonin, v'shirinen leile bas Yisrael v'kedusha of kedushin. So we saw this in the toises, and Sanhedrin is using this as a raya. Why it's deraisa? It has to be everything deraisa. So now our toises is asking, how can we have this ger derabonin doing these deraisa things? Hamin etayro v'kachavim hu. He said, "Deraisa Yishlam Kasavar Kamantamar Be'ashir Shavar Yishkoch B'Yad Chachamim LaOiker Davarman and Torah B'Kum Va'ase." So this whole Gemara is going with the Kum Va'ase. Now, over there in Sanhedrin, the Toisus was very clear and said that it was a Sheva Al Tase, not a Kum Va'ase. So Toisus over there is not going by this man Damar. So we don't hold by this man Damar, but there is that Shita. The Toisus is engaging this Shita. Now, what's the Kum Va'ase here? What do you need the Kum Va'ase here? We have a cotton who is he's not really a male, he's really a male goy. So when he does Kedushin, what exactly is the Isser here? We're oikering a mitzvah and Torah, what exactly is going on here? Where is the Isser that we are mattering with the Kum Va'ase? So, for the goy, there's no isser because he's not mitzvah in anything, and for the woman, as we learned in the beginning of the parak, that she's karka oilam. Since she's karka oilam, that la'anus lo tavar, and therefore she didn't do anything. Since she's got no maisa, therefore there's no kum va'ase here. So why is Tosfos here say yesh yab yad kachamim la'oikr davar min the kum va'ase? The cotton is a goy. And where's the konvasi? There's no isser. There's no isser going on here. So, in place of a answer, you say the Tosfos is here talking bein cotton, bein katana. That really is for the katana. You have the same din as a katana that becomes a giuris, and then she marries a male, and the male has the konvaase, and therefore, in the case of the katana, there. And again, the kishoy would be the kuma'ase because it's an isser relation for the male, and the kishoy is the maisa, and by there, the male's doing the isser, but the chachamim were oiker with the kuma'ase. So now, again, it's a very daichik peshat for Tosfos, because again the mashmayos of the Gemara we said that the Gemara. Well, there's two kind of conflicting ideas in the Gemara. One is that they're able to be hegdilo yocholim limchois when they grow, they're able to make a mocha. So there the pashtus is that it's the rabbanon, and therefore they're able to be moicha. But the raisa, how does this work? The raisa, again we said that you need to be makabel mitzvahs. But it's really the pashtus is like it's the rabbanon, and then you just moicha and you get rid of it. But then this idea of that you're doing all these, that you're mekadosh a woman, so therefore the chayr, it seems that it's derisive. Because Tosfos says that it's going just like this one man damar who we don't poskin like. So firstly, it's not great to make a sugi going on like one side, and it's even worse to make it like a shita we don't poskin. The chad mitre. The key perach my kamash malan. So what did Gemara say? Gemara says, "What's the chiddush here? Having must we could have answered kamash malan yishkach biyachacham lo could have been a Torah. That's the big chiddush. Come vaase. One from two answers we gave. So we gave a different reason, but we could have given that reason. V'hatam rinan bereish ben soider. Gabe gezel heger im ein leish goyel ish atat zarech lachzor acharav im yeshlo goyel. So this is what the Tosfos in Sanhedrin is on about. It says in the Torah ish goyel ish atat zarech lachzor acharav. So if you have a man, you have to go after him and see if he has yorshiv. Im yeshlo goyel aval katan iyatatzarach lachzor acharav to see that he is a goyel. Mishachak la ger katan minatayr. So therefore, you see the fact that I had to say ish and not katan. So the Torah is saying ish and not a katan. So therefore, there must be a case of a katan that is a Jew that you have to return the money for, but you don't have to check that he has any yorshim. So therefore, the Torah is saying that there's a ger katan. So Tosfos just said that every ger is a ger d'Rabbanan. So how can the Torah recognize this ger? So Tosfos here says b'mu'uberes is gaira. So you have a woman who is a mu'uberes. So she is. So again, let's get this clear because we'll need this later. She gets pregnant while she's a goy. Then during her pregnancy period, she has a tevila and becomes a Jew. And then when she has this baby inside, then she gives birth, and then that baby comes out as a Jew. So the mu'bereshin is gaira, kadamir pericha arel. Oiv t'chachav magoy. Mu'bereshin is gaira, bana ein sarech tevila. So the child doesn't need tevila. They have a ger minatayra. D'Yisrael gomer hu. And now again, this is the idea that the Islay Mammon Minatayra, which is again the question how you have to return money to him. How does he have money of the Torah? Therefore, he's related to his mother because, and again, even though the mother, so again, this is the drash of Yitzarech Laksor Alav She'ein Lo Yorshiv She'ein Moiled, because the child doesn't give birth. The achiv mina emai, you might have brothers from the mother. The ein yorshim atoy, so they don't yorshim. So therefore, we have the case where they don't yorshim. So again, you have this child that is conceived as a goy and is born as a Jew. Then that Jew will be yorish the mother. The Jew gets that relationship klape when they're born and not when they're. Now, Rabbi Akiva Eiger kasha eich miskachos ger kata midiraisa. So Tosfos says the mishkachas la b'meuberes sheniskaira the bana ain't tzarech tevila b'arei ger gimel Torah. So Tosfos says. And he Thomas who says the Rabbi Akiva Eiger doesn't make any sense. The nahi the alta le tevila, even though the tevila works the ein zechatzitza mishum tahainu revise. So we have the case of that if yerech imo. So we have the baby in the womb of the mother. If the baby is like a limb of the mother, just like her pancreas was converted and got the tevila, so too the baby got the tevila because it's just like another part of her body. But we paskin lav yerachimo. So the Gemara says, what about lav yerachimo? It says hainu revise. It's not a chetzitza. That the mother is not a chetzitza. Because that's the natural way of the baby to be covered in the womb, and therefore it's not a chatzitza. Something natural is not a chatzitza. So you got a proper tevila, even though it's separate to the mother got a tevila and the baby got a tevila. So the ein a chatzitza, even though it's not a chatzitza, mishum chani revita, michum malkum gerus ein kan. There's no gerus here. The kaven the kaimalan uber lav yerach imo who, since it's not a yerach imo, the kaimalan the katan lo. Leika lemer lislay zechia miyat Torah. Tosfos holds that the cotton doesn't have a zechia. So now, how can he all of a sudden flip here and say that this cotton that's in the baby, the mother gets a gerus deraisa? How the hell did this happen? Because if it's yerach imo, so that the mother becomes the Jew, so therefore her whole body becomes a Jew, includes the baby that comes out as a Jew. But we don't paskin in that way. So therefore, now we have the baby, it's in the mother, it's getting a separate gerus. The mother gets a gerus and the baby gets a gerus. The mother can become Torah, but the baby needs zechiyah for it. And it doesn't have any zechiyah, so how does it become a Jew? Imkain, man, meshava leger. Hashem should open my eyes, so again, he really doesn't get it. Hashem should open my eyes. So when I was playing with my son, we had this pull to derisa. So Akiva asked him the question. He said the Meiser we're back to square one. Tosfos just says, look at this, we found a ger derisa because it was with the mother. Tosfos, Rabbi Akiva, what are you talking about? How did you get the zechiyah for this baby? What's the difference between this baby and just a ger and a ger? That is so. Again, this is just left as a Tzorchi in Godel. But we have the again Rav Naftali Trop. I think this is a big yisoid that kind of goes through the whole Shas. It's a apparently famous yisoid in the Yeshiva Welt. V'anir liyasha b'zeh hu da'avshe matzrichim girus le vlad shenolid meyakum. Even though that we need gerus for the baby that is given birth from a goy haba al bas Yisrael. So that you have now. Here's a goy that comes on a Jew. He's saying here is that it's a shita in the Gemara. Don't know if he's talking halacha lamaisa or exactly what, but usually we just say that it goes that the Jewish goes after the mother, and therefore it's a Jew. If the mother is Jewish, he's Jewish. Here he's saying that the vlad that comes from the father is a goy, and the mother is a Jew. He still needs a gerus. It's not because he's a goy gomer. He's really a Jew. Because he's not yet included in the Kedush Yisrael. The yichus.
This is also, sorry, John, this is still going under the situation where she was pregnant while she was still a goy, right? And then
No. We're dropping that for now. We're saying that this is a bas Yisrael, so she's Jewish forever and has relations with a goy. And therefore, what's the status of the baby? The baby, he's saying that the baby will still need to have a tevila. Why? So why does he need a tevila? So he makes a difference between Kedushas Yisrael and Yichus Yisrael. So this is his big difference. So the Yichus a Kedusha Tului Ba'avos. So the Yichus you get from the Avos. The Mishpachotam the Beis Avosam. And like the Kedushas Kahuna Tului Ba'avos, so the Kedushas of the Kahuna goes by the Avos. Kamo Kain, Kedushas Israel Tului Ba'avos. So therefore the Kedushas of Israel goes through the Avos. The Lo Sagi B'Masha Medyachas Achareya. So you get the Yichus from the mother. You're a Jew because you have the Yichus of a Jew. You have the Yichus of a Jew from your mother, but you don't have the Kedushas of a Jew because the Kedushas of the Jew goes after your father. Therefore you're lacking that, and therefore you'll have it. You still need some type of gerus. V'lezeh tzorich gerus kedei lekabel alav kedushas Yisrael. So therefore you need some whatever this gerus is to get the kedushas Yisrael. V'nira de legerus kazeh ain't tzrichim klal ledaitoi. Since he's Yichus Yisrael, he's mechuyev to become a Jew. He has the Yichus Yisrael. He needs to become a Jew, and therefore you don't need the das of the Kotel Bechlal because he's mechuyev to do it. Kevin Jehu Kavar Yisrael. He's already a Jew. So once you have the Yichus Yisrael, therefore to get the Kedush Yisrael, you can toivelim bal korche. So this is the answer for the Rabbi Kiva that Tosis is saying that he's a ger deraisa because since he's got the Yichus Yisrael, that his mother is a Jew. Since his mother is a Jew, therefore he's got the Yichus Yisrael. Therefore, to get the Kedushas Yisrael, he is mechuyev to go into the Shechina, and therefore he gets a tevila bab korcha, and it works. The Moshe Kasav man kan de hakatanim shahayu be'es matan Torah nasu Yisraelim gemorim. So how did the katanim at the time? How did they become mishom shebnei Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov hem? So all the Jews, all the Ketanim at the time of Matan Torah, they were all had the Yichus Yisrael. So they had the Yichus Yisrael because they were all Bnei Avraham. Therefore, they do Bal Korche, and therefore they get the Kedush Yisrael, and therefore they are able to be, have that tevila. They have that conversion to Raisa. Now coming out in the so Toisvus, the ideas of Toisvus, there's a question which you have if you have a surrogate mother, and the surrogate mother, you have like who is the baby miyuchas after? The mother. That's the conception mother or the birth mother. Who's the yichus after? Right. So what would you say, B'Pashtus? So again, you'll have let's say Jews who have the conception, and then they have a non-Jewish surrogate, or vice versa. So how do you say Bapashtis that the yichus should go after?
Yeah. I mean, he gave the genetic material, then yeah, it goes after that.
The conception.
Yeah.
So is Taisus the Chayr is saying it goes after the birth, goes after the surrogate, because he's saying that there's a connection. That why are you Yoirish the mother? Because you get a connection to the mother once you have the birth. Once the birth happens, that's where you get that's where you get the connection to the mother from the birth, and therefore you're Yoirish, even though you were conceived as a goy, and therefore you have no connection to, you're not Yoirish your mother. Since you were born as a Jew, so therefore you have that connection to your mother, and therefore it goes after the birth. It doesn't go after the conception. And again, according to Rav Tali Trupp, maybe you can be deicha this is a raya, but the pashtus of the Tosfos is that it's going after the again. It's based on pashtus. It's a maklokas in the poiskin. So whether it goes after the conception or goes after the, but there is what to say, and there's Tosfos about that it goes after the birth. Now, just so just to finalize this, just finish off the Tosfos. If it's from the Garson Baba Mitzia, Zechia Miha Islay V'lo Gars Midrabanan. So the two gears. So you have the Zechia for the cotton Durabanan. We just have Zechia Islay, and it leaves out the word Durabanan. So you have the two gears. So therefore, going to the gears without the Durabanan. Therefore, it's Zechia Deraisa for a cotton. Nicha. All of a sudden now in this end of Tosfos, now he gets a Zechia Deraisa. Again, the Tosfos in Sanhedrin holds that it's not through Zechia. That this whole process is not through Zechia. So he's not agreeing with Tosfos in Sanhedrin now. But he's saying now that the Zechia is Deraisa. Nicha de matzi lemeimar de islay Zechia Deraisa. Foivik cotton. So a goy cotton kevin de baal iskar. Once he comes to be miskar, chashiven leki Yisrael cotton. Therefore he comes to be like a Yisrael cotton again. Boink echod. The afol gav the Zechia have mitam shlichos, even though Zechia is because of shlichos, ve'ein lo shlichos deraisa hani mili b'davar sheish bo ketzad choiva. So why does he have? So since it's still coming from Zechia, from shlichos, and shlichos he doesn't have. All that shlichus is where he has a bit of a choiv, kagon lehafresh trumaso, that you can't make a shliach, a cotton can't make a shliach to be mafresh his truma. The shema hayirotzi leftori bechita achas. Maybe I only want to do one chita. I don't want to do 1/50th, 1/40th, 1/60th, whichever it is. Or shema hayirotzi lahadif, or maybe he wants more. So therefore, it's not a complete zechia. If I do his truma for him, it's not a pure zechoslo that doesn't have a katzat choiv. Aval hakad the zach gamor hu yesh lo shlichus. But here, since becoming a Jew and he's a cotton, because only when he gets older do we have this idea that the hefker is better. So since he has that, it's a pure zechus. As Gemara says that it's not a choiv. Therefore, it's a zechus gomer. He has the zechia, and even though he doesn't have the shlichus, he has the zechia, and it works here, even though it doesn't work by truma, because truma has a katzat choiv. Here is pure toiv. So that is the Tosfos.